From the headquarters of the Guild of Champions, this is the Becoming Thin podcast, and I am your host, Chris Terrell. And welcome to another week of your weight loss quest. How did this last week go for you, champion? What new challenges did you encounter? But more importantly, what failure did you go through, and what lesson did you get from that failure? Come on now. Don't let a perfectly good failure go by without you getting a lesson. That's your reward for your troubles, after all. Now, if you're new here, I've lost 125 pounds myself after an entire adulthood of chronic yo-yo dieting. Up, down, up again. Before I finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I made some permanent, meaningful, and actual changes to my real-life lifestyle, habits, routines, environment, community, and to my systems of belief. Because it's all 6 of those things that created the results in my life, and if I want to get new results, I got to go change those very same 6 things. And now I'm here to help you change them as well, so that you too can obtain the results of becoming thin, healthy, happy, and in shape, all at the same time. I call these the core 4 goals. It's what everybody I work with, I try to help them accomplish, because it's the same core 4 goals that I too was seeking to accomplish when I began my journey many years ago of losing 125 pounds. Took me 26 months, 24, 26? Wow. I've been saying this along, my brain just totally crossed numbers, but 26 months, just over 2 years, took 4 separate month-long maintenance breaks in that. You see, that's very different than the past. In the past, I was always seeking to lose weight quick, as fast as I could, using whatever crash diet or new hack or fad I could get my hands on. Looking for that surefire way to win, to make sure that no matter what happened, I'd get there. I was always looking for the secret. The secret to easy weight loss, sustainable weight loss. What is the secret that I'm missing? There's got to be some secret somewhere that I haven't found, and I'm here to tell you the secret. The secret can be found in the free Facebook group called the Becoming Thin Facebook group. I'm kidding. You can't find it there. Actually, you can find it there. Wow. Actually, I'm not kidding. You totally can find it there. It's in the Becoming Thin Facebook group, which you can find by going to Facebook and searching for Becoming Thin. You'll find it in the groups. It's got yellow font. It is probably the only one, or you can head on over to becomingthin.com and come on in to the group and learn a little bit. Now, I have another group that I run. You've probably heard me mention it, the Guild of Champions. It's my paid community and coaching program, and it is an amazing program with amazing people. Today's podcast is going to be cut slightly short because I am the whole studio is tore down, and I'm recording this at my desk right now because I am heading out of town to Chicago for my annual Guild World Summit. I'm calling it from here on out. Every August, we're going to do the World Summit in the Guild in Chicago as sort of a commemorative thing. It's actually our 3rd one in person. Really exciting. So excited to see everybody. But today's going to be a shorter episode. I know I've been doing longer ones, more in them, but I need the whole studio for that, and I had to tear it down because I need all that equipment in Chicago. But I want to talk about the secret sauce to weight loss. And what I want to share is something that was shared in the community because I think it's powerful enough that I think it should be shared. And B, I want you to see the kinds of conversations we have in the Guild, the kind of stuff we talk about. A lot of you joined your weight loss groups and you're looking for new recipes, you're looking for new exercises, you're looking for the secret sauce and the hacks, right? And everybody's trading around all these things. Well, let me tell you, first I'm going to read the post, or a portion of it, and then I'm going to I'm going to explain it. The person that wrote this, she knows who she is. So thank you for sharing this. I want you to know I've been hearing buzz from people about this. Like this is definitely hitting some people, and it hit me too. And I've been thinking about it ever since I read it 3 days ago. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, I'm sharing this. This is too important not to share. It's just stated so plainly from somebody doing the work, clearly stated from a practitioner. Somebody that's doing it. This is exactly the sort of place you want to get your wisdom from, y'all. You want to get your wisdom from practitioners. That's why I think my podcast in the Guild is pretty great. Why? Because I'm teaching you weight loss advice from somebody that's done it and then gone on to help lots and lots and lots, hundreds of people lose hundreds of pounds. This is born out of experience. I didn't learn this stuff from a book. This isn't theory. This is practical wisdom learned from life. Then we added the book knowledge on top of it, right? And you get both. But sometimes the best wisdom is just found from a person in the trenches every now and then. And this is one of them. So let me read the post, and then we'll circle around and dig into it, as I said. This week, my on-ramp group. So, by the way, when you join the guild, you're part of an on-ramp group with other people. So in this week, my on-ramp group, we've been discussing beliefs we used to have before joining the guild. In my answer, I had discussed that initially I was disappointed that the secret to the guildie's success wasn't something special, just community and eating less. In response, a member in the group echoed my thoughts and said, yeah, the secret sauce is just do the work. Now, here's what I love about what she says here in her post, by the way. I'm going to just pause and interject here. She says, so when I journaled last night, this is what I came up with. I love, and this is part of the culture here we try to create, when you have something that hits you, go journal about it. Go dig into it. Go open your mind up to these ideas. And so she says, when I journaled about this last night, what I came up with is the secret sauce is work. The weight loss secret is you have to do the work. The secret is you have to have OSPs. The secret is you have to address your chronic overeating. The secret is you have to listen to your hunger. The secret is you have to find coping mechanisms that aren't food. The secret is to stop making the scale change your day. The secret is you have to address your job, your relationships, and your happiness/unhappiness. The secret is you will have to make changes and sacrifices. The secret is it will take a long time. The secret isn't magical. The secret isn't sexy. And most of all, it isn't a secret. The secret is you have to do the work to reach your goals. Brilliantly stated. Brilliant. There's a certain simplicity to this that I just love so much, especially the first two lines. The secret sauce is work. The weight loss secret is you have to do the work. Because that's true. No amount of learning, no amount of thinking without action is going to get you to lose weight. Action is non-negotiable. You have to take action. The secret is you have to have OSPs. That was the next line. Now, for those that don't know yet, OSP is a term I coined years ago when I was coming up with my framework for losing weight, and I was trying to figure out what makes it work. And you remember what I say, the 6 things that create your life, or your lifestyle, habits, routines, environment, community, belief systems. So community. Community is all the people that you interact with in your life. Now, not everybody in your community is supportive. In fact, some of them are antagonistic, malicious. The secret sauce is when you're seeking to lose weight and transform your life is you only talk about it with your OSPs, only supportive people. You only share your dream with people that are supportive. I'm not saying get yes men. Sometimes the best support you need is somebody that'll tell you the hard truth that you need to hear, but it's done out of love and support for you. You need to know they got your best interests at heart. You need to know they're not taking their limited thinking and superimposing it onto your dreams to say what is and isn't possible. The reality is to lose weight as a completely solo lone wolf, it's hard. That's why I created the guild. I created the guild because I go back in the early days of my podcast. You can hear all I offered was one-on-one coaching. That was it. I offered nothing else. All I did was one-on-one, made a great living, only working with 15 to 20 people at a time. And that's it. And it was fine, but it was only 15 to 20 people at a time. So I wanted to reach more people. But the other thing I realized is I'd work with somebody and then I'm only working with them for 3 to 4 months and they got to lose 150 pounds. So that wasn't going to happen in 4 months. And so they lose 15, 20, 30 pounds, right? And then I check in with them 6 months later and half of them are gaining their weight back. I'm like, well, what gives? And I'd start talking with them and I'm like, you learned it. Like, what's going on? It's because they didn't have the sustainers. I've realized for weight loss to happen, it's not enough to just have technical knowledge. You have to have the sustainers added to your life. And one of the sustainers is quality supportive people on the journey to help you. It sustains your progress and helps you actually make it to the end. And so what was happening is I realized a lot of people, not only did they not have OSPs in their life, they had the opposite. They had saboteurs in their life. And so they would stop working with me, go back to their life, having made zero changes to their community, not injecting any new OSPs. I was their only OSP. And then they get pulled backwards. You know the story of crabs, right? You put one crab in a bucket, it jumps out. You put 2 crabs in a bucket. The moment one tries to climb out, the other one grabs it, pulls it back down. That's why you can throw as many crabs you want in a bucket. They won't get out. They won't let each other leave. And that's what happens on weight loss. You try to leave, all of a sudden people try to claw you back and keep you where you are. And they don't even mean to do it. We don't need to hold any ill will towards people that do it. Hell, I did it. You probably did it too. But if you want to change, you gotta inject some OSPs. And I knew this, so I created the Guild. Well, actually, before that, I created a small group coaching program. But again, I wanted to reach even more people. You know, I want to change the world with weight loss. So I had to go bigger, hence the Guild. But I realized people need community. They need a support network. And the secret is you need one. I always try to lose weight, either telling the whole world, but nobody's supportive. So I'm telling everybody, including the non-supportive people, or I would try to do it in secret and tell nobody. No, you need the in-between. You need to tell somebody, just only the supportive somebodies. The next one, the secret is you have to address your chronic overeating. You'll notice nowhere in here was it like, you need to stop eating ultra-processed foods. You need to give up carbs. You need to stop eating McDonald's. You need to not go out to eat. No more eating after 9. You got to intermittent fast. None of this is the secret. None of this is the secret. The secret is you have to address your chronic overeating. It's not just overeating. It's that it's chronic. That's why I said this is worded from somebody that is living it, living the transformation. That's why it's so brilliant. You have to address your chronic overeating. So many of us, we tried to lose weight in the past without giving up our overeating. We wanted to give up foods, but not the overeating. That's why keto was so attractive to so many of us, because we didn't have to give up the overeating. We just had to give up the foods. It was nice, right? It was nice. But you have to give that up if you want to become thin, healthy, happy, and in shape forever. You're going to have to give up your chronic overeating. But the next one I love because it's true, and I'm still doing it to this day. The secret is you have to listen to your hunger. You have to listen to your hunger. I still, to this day, am listening to my hunger. In fact, I'm losing weight right now. I've been in a deficit for 60-something days, 67, I think. I just saw another new low on the scale today, 171. Woo! Been at 173 for weeks. That sucker wouldn't move. But it finally moved. But here's the thing. I'm mostly just listening to my hunger. I mean, I'm doing other little things, but the hunger sits at the heart of all of it. I try to sit in it. I wait till I eat till I'm hungry. I push hunger. I play with it. It's just, you got to learn your hunger. You got to learn how to listen to it. You got to learn how to interpret it. And if we go back to the beginning of my journey, I didn't know how to listen to my hunger. I thought my stomach was empty, meant I was supposed to eat. No, that just means there's nothing in your stomach. That's not a problem that needs solving. You don't have to do anything about that. When your stomach's empty, you just leave it alone. That's not hunger. That's empty stomach feeling. I had to learn that. Have you learned that yet? I didn't know that in the beginning. But when you learn it, you start going like, there's a difference between empty stomach. There's a difference between hungry. There's a difference between I'm full. There's a difference between I'm satiated. All 4 of those are 4 different sensations. And I had to learn them all. And I had to learn how to listen to them and learn how to respond to them. And the secret is you too will have to do that. The secret is you have to find coping mechanisms that aren't food. Let's go up to the earlier one. You have to address your chronic overeating. Well, part of our coping mechanisms that contributed to the chronic overeating was our coping mechanisms was food. And look, the problem is food actually works. When you're stressed, food actually works, but it creates a secondary problem, and it typically causes you to avoid dealing with your actual problem. And so you numb out. Not necessarily a great solution to problems in life. But the secret is, if you are overweight, obese, 100 plus pounds overweight, you probably have coping mechanisms that involve food or sitting for really long periods of time. And some of you went and combined the two. You sit for really long periods of time and you have food with it, right? Double whammy. And you're numbing out from your feelings. You're not like eating and watching TV so you can think about your feelings and come up with a plan for how you're going to solve them. Or no, you're just numbing out. You just don't want to think about it. You're trying to forget. You're trying to be distracted. You're trying to have a nice time after a stressful day. You're going to have to figure something else out. You're going to have to figure something else out, and the stress might still be there just to make it fun, but that's the secret. The next one she wrote is the secret is to stop making the scale change your day. Stop making the scale change your day. I used to do that. On my journey, that scale would 100% have control over my mood for that day. If I got on the scale and it went down, I would think great of myself. If it went up, I'd think negative of myself, and then I'd get afraid to get on the scale again. I had to divorce my mood from this number on the scale and still look at the scale and get on it so I could use it as just what it is, data, just objective data. It's a bank balance. That's all it is. But the secret is you're gonna have to work on that. Avoiding the scale isn't what helps you. Avoiding the scale is what keeps you fat. You got to change that. You have to learn to not need to avoid the scale. The secret is you have to address your job, your relationships. You do. For many of you, your job and your relationships provides you stress. It's not working. You need to work on it. If you're not working on it and it's a problem, it's not going to get better on its own. Jobs and relationships don't have a tendency to get better on their own. Usually you have to do something. You have to play a part. You have to work on them. You have to be an active participant in them making it better. And if in a relationship and a job, the other party needs to be an active participant too. And if they won't participate, you might need to leave. And that's true sometimes. The secret is some of you are in a relationship you never should have gotten into, and you're going to need to get out of it or go to do some serious marriage therapy. Some of you are in a job you never should have gotten into, in a career you never should have gotten into, and you don't have student loans that are compelling you to stay, and it is time to leave. Some of you, the answer is you're going to have to go sit down and work on it. You're going to have to confront your boss and say you're not happy. You're going to have to go and look at your paycheck and own that you are not making enough and you need to make more money. And you're going to have to ask your boss for a raise. And if they don't give it to you, you are going to have no choice but to go get another job that pays more. Oh, bummer. You're going to have to go earn more money. How terrible is this? Oh, the humanity of having to go get another job. I know it sucks, job hunting. It's not fun in this day and age. I get it, but it's, never been fun. So, at least now you can do it from the comfort of your home in your pajamas. Before you had to go pound pavement and knock doors. So, it's easier. I know it sucks, but it's also easier in a different way. So, pros and cons to every solution, I suppose. The next line, the secret is you will have to make changes and sacrifices. You will. I sacrificed a lot. Over 26 months, I sacrificed a lot. I've never actually let myself sit down and take full stock of what I sacrificed. I've never done that. I don't know that I want to. I don't know that I need to. I don't know that I will. But I do know this is a lot. So much that's why I don't really give a shit when I talk to people about what you got to sacrifice. Because it's like, I've rarely met a person that's giving up more than I had to give up. Rarely. I do. Don't get me wrong. I do. But rarely. I sacrificed anything. There was no sacred cow. If it got between me and my peace, it got axed. Period. I was done messing around. I was done. I wasn't going to live another year of my life in the misery I was in. And I really latched on to the saying from Steve Jobs that he talks about when he gave a commencement speech. It really, really echoes in my mind. He says, I read a quote that went something like, if you live each day as if it were your last, someday you'll most certainly be right. It made an impression on me. And every day since then, when I've woken up and looked at myself in the mirror, I've asked myself, if today were my last day on earth, would I want to do what it is I'm about to do today? And I know that if the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Man, when I heard him say that, that just started bringing clarity to life. I decided then and there, I'm going to adopt that. I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and say, if today were my last day on earth, would I want to live the day I'm about to go live? And when I started getting to the end of it, taking stock of the previous day and going no, I don't know that I'd like that to be the last day on earth. I had to work on it. I had to change it. And when my dad died, it changed me. It changed how I see time. It changed how I see my own life. And I just decided that this is my life. And I'm not going to be miserable so that somebody else can be happy. I'm going to leave whatever I have to leave, sell whatever I have to sell, get rid of whatever I have to get rid of, move wherever I need to move, do whatever is necessary to find my peace. I'm not going to live a life of misery anymore. So I started changing things, started sacrificing things. My games, my popcorn at the movies, my binges paired with binging movies and TV shows. I would get up early Saturday morning and play video games until 2 or 3, go mow the yard because I had to. And then I could say I did some movement. So then I could then go back inside and claim that I was tired and turn on the TV and watch the TV for the rest of the day or go to the movies or, oh, I need to be in the air conditioning. It's hot. And I'd just go sit and veg and entertain. And I loved it. And I had to give it up. I had to give it up and sacrifice it. But it's easy to sacrifice something when you've already got the replacement in hand. Just saying. The next thing she wrote is the secret will take a long time. Started saying on my journey, it takes as long as it takes, but I don't need to be making it take any longer than absolutely necessary. Fact is, however long you think it's going to take noticeably longer. I have yet to meet a person that called their shot. I have yet to meet a person whose plan went according to plan. Nobody's weight loss journey happens the way you think it should. Nobody. There's too many variables outside your control, and it is going to take a long time. I have been for 67 days, only been able to lose 5 pounds or so. Could I crash it off and lose more faster? Yes, but I don't want to rebound. I want the weight loss to be stable. Stable weight loss is slow weight loss. Stable weight loss is slow weight loss. That means it's going to take time. And you must embrace it because time is not your enemy. Time is your ally. It's going to pass either way. So why don't you just do a little bit and let time work for you? Think of the great Grand Canyon, formed by water and time. Without time, the water alone couldn't do it. It needed the time. And so with the time, small actions can create tremendous change. And that's what can happen in your life. The secret to weight loss is that it isn't magical. It's just a calorie deficit. It isn't sexy. It's actually quite boring. And most of all, it isn't a secret. Go pick up a book on weight loss from 60 years ago. They're saying the same things. I stood at a bookstore recently, and I stood in front of the weight loss, weight management section, and I found in hundreds of books, maybe 5 that were worth anything. The rest of it was dog shit. It was just pure garbage, keeping people stuck, spreading misinformation, masquerading as good information. There are people giving the good information, but they're trying to solve their obesity with all these tricks and gimmicks and hacks. It's not a secret. It's the law of thermodynamics. Taking less energy than you burn. Yes, even if you have insulin resistance, that's true. Most of you say your insulin resistance stops you from losing your weight. Those of you that have it, or I'm rephrase that. There's many of you that claim insulin resistance is why you can't lose weight. It's not true. You can lose weight with insulin resistance. You might have to make a few accommodations, but you can do it. And the accommodations don't require as much as you think. I think what it is some of you you don't realize just how much work is required to win. How much work is required just to get minimum credit. Because most of us are used to a trick. The problem is the trick is it's so effective and so efficient, it's not adaptable. And life requires adaptable strategies. And the problem is when you get a strategy that's adaptable, you sacrifice some efficiency and some effectiveness. You don't have to sacrifice a ton, but some. And so many of you sacrifice your adaptability for a hack. But of course you couldn't do it because it wasn't sustainable when life changed. You just got to do the work. Every day. You can't take days and weeks off. You just can't. Maybe you could take the occasional day off and just eat at maintenance for a day occasionally, but you do it every week. You may just maintain. I don't know. The reality is I've lost weight. I've lost it and kept it off, and now I'm doing my second deficit after a bulk. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. It's the only option. You got to show up and do the work. If you don't show up and do the work, you won't get the results. Plain and simple. So what's the number one skill you need to learn how to do? The number one skill is you need to learn how to show up and do the work.